Attack the enemy! Victory is ours!
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back for some more relatively high tier French tanks gameplay. Now, this is a battle from all the way back from the 6th of March of 2018. Hence the old intro. This is pre-patch 1.77, so try to keep that in mind. Particularly later when I'm in my SPAA and I don't have radar. So there's a hint for you. I'm not going to survive the entire battle on my Cerbese, but this ended up being a really good battle. This is actually a battle that I kind of lost in my to-do folder because I moved it to make space for recording a first 10 or something. I forget exactly, but all the way back to the 6th of March was just grinding away towards the French using my 7.7 lineup. This is prior to... This is when the Cerbias also had the entire magazine being one large brick of ammo instead of individual shots you could change, so I didn't have any HE rounds like I can carry now. Anyway. I hear artillery start hitting. I'm not entirely sure where it's hitting. I look around. I can see some little splashes kind of over towards A. Nope, B, sorry. You can see artillery hitting up in the middle of the trees at B there, so there it is. I heard one come from the right side, so I was thinking it was artillery at A, but it was at B. I knew it was coming somewhere because I told the team about it. There it is. It's near B. So they're close enough to B to fire artillery at it, so we know somebody's close to B, so as I'm driving up to B, I'm keeping that in mind. They've made it to C, but that's okay because we've got Hogwarts. So we'll stop them at C by controlling the castle above C, where they can cap C below. Anyways, they've got B almost completely captured. We're rolling on up through the pretty obvious approach lane, but it's also a pretty good approach lane to come from this side. Coming from the outside of the trees to the right, you're pretty exposed on the ridgeline, and coming from around the left, you're going to get hit from somebody up on the top of the map there. But if you come in from where I'm coming in right here, now we saw that tree get knocked over. My teammate in the AMX-50 Cerbese next to me knocked out the T-92 who had knocked the tree over. So if the T-92 had not knocked that tree down, he very likely would have been able to get an ambush shot into one of us. But he didn't, so I was able to move in and start the decap on B and slow down that ticket bleed just a little bit.
The enemy is getting closer to victory.
Now this F-84, I might possibly have been able to get a shot at if my gun had just raised a little bit sooner, but I don't think he ever actually came below my plane there. Plane of elevation, not airplane, but speaking geometry-wise, the plane of my gun there. So we finished up the cap, pushed forward out to extend beyond B, and set up a defensive line a little farther away to keep them from being able to get right up to the cap. Took a look down this pathway here, didn't see anybody readily coming in, and then was able to use the trees to get an ambush on this T-32. Even though I didn't get a fully killing shot on him, I took out most of his turret crew. And then was able to reload and put a finishing shot into him. And then we can see this other guy coming. It's a T-29 or a T-34. I couldn't tell exactly from all the trees and bushes on him. Backed off to throw off his aim, tried to shoot through the smoke. My own aim was thrown off, but after I fired, I drove forward again to make sure that he really couldn't find me without, firing a lot of machine guns, which would have let me know right where he was. Pulled up to the edge of the smoke and stopped and waited for the smoke to clear and hoped that I could get a good hitting shot into him here as they're taking B back behind me.
We no no longer have the advantage.
Come out of the smoke. There he is. Get a pretty good hit into him. Take out his driver, his gunner, and his loader, and set him on fire. He's in pretty bad shape, and I'm able to reload quickly with the autoloader, put another shot through, finish him off, and it turns out it's a T-34. Get this baby turned back around, roll back in on the B point, and what do I see? It's our friend the STR-V1. Wait for the gun to raise up to where I want it, get a good crew compartment shot, and finish him in one shot, and roll back in. As I'm taking B, I see somebody shoot just off to my left. It's a T-32 that just took out our Jagdtiger. I hurried my shot, trying to get into the side of his front hull, did not get the shot I wanted. Thankfully, he's got two-piece ammo, and his reload is a lot slower than mine, and I'm able to get a shot into his hull like I wanted. And that took him out. Now, I got a pretty decent shot on this T-34 here, but unfortunately, not enough, and it deflected off his lower hull and took out his track. I risked the reload on my gunner here. Got what I wanted, put a decent shot through the front, took out a bunch of his crew, and then unfortunately burned out because I didn't get the FPE going quickly enough, but I needed to wait for my gunner to switch out. As it is, I dealt pretty significant damage to the T-34, so I was okay with it. Pretty decent start for Monsieur Bias.
We don't have the advantage anymore.
4 kills and a cap. I'll take it. And then we head back in with a mostly, well, no, it wasn't fully armed. A fully armed AD-4 heading in for the B point to deal with our friend, the crippled T-34. Hopefully line our team up to go recapture the B point as we are taking A, but we still need to at least decap one of the other 2 points. Came in low over the trees, didn't actually see anybody, decided to make another pass around. And right as I was about to climb again, I see this AAA shooting come in nice and low to get a shot at him. Pulled it down just a little too close, clipped the tree, and as is the case generally with my cast attacks, I pressed the attack too close to the ground and crashed out again. Not because I'm trying to suicide, but because I just pressed the attacks in too close instead of going around again. But oh well, I got him with the rockets anyway. And then came back in the SO-8000. And came back to, again, take a look for our friend the T-34 at B. Now somebody's marked up here at B, so that's what I'm heading towards. Aware that there are other aircraft in the sky, including our friend this P-47 who's rolling around at me, and I'm going to have to wave off the ground target here. Take him out, because he's still packing a lot of bombs. Managed to take his wing off. Lined myself back up, took some damage from something else. I wasn't exactly sure what it was. Tried to roll back around, cut back in on the T-34 or whatever it was, still at B, and got picked off by an F-8 F-1B, who was probably what hit me in the first place. Ah well, I took out a fully loaded Thunderbolt though, so it's not too bad. Now again, remember, this is patch prior to patch 1.77, so there's no radar on my AMX-30 DCA here. So any kills I get with it are all just me knowing how to lead with it. Or just putting out enough volume of fire. Now, if I weren't typing about the heavy at B, I probably would have had a pretty good chance at that Wyvern, but as it is, he didn't make it anyway, so...
Attack the B point! Repairing. We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
So as we slowly try to climb the hill back up, I'm looking at the heavy down at C and wondering exactly what he's trying to accomplish down there, and figuring if he's in trouble, okay, fair enough. If you've got an enemy near you that's preventing you from moving in on the C point, That's all well and good, but say something. Call for help. Point out where he is on the map. Particularly if you're damaged, tell us where the dude is. Because now he's moving towards C, but prior to that he was just kind of sitting there and not really doing anything. He does move in, but we really need people to decap one of these 2 points, like, immediately, because we've got one heck of a lot of ticket bleed to counteract. And our guys do make it into the B point and start decapping it for us. And something got marked in the C point, so it looks like there was actually an enemy tank there, but still, I don't have a problem with that, but, you know, let us know. Like, say something, type something, do something. Shoot them with your machine guns if you can. Anyway, we're decapping the B point, so that's the important thing. And I'm trying to hunt for this aircraft I can hear, which is, of course, a friendly going over me right now.
We've captured most of the strategic zone.
But there's something with a prop as well that is not friendly, and there he is. Looks like another P-47 to me in hot pursuit of our 262. And sure enough, it was a premium P-47M. Unfortunately, I did not get him before he took down the 262, but at least I took him out before he could do any further damage. For my 7th kill of the battle. And then as we have taken the B point, I rotated my direction and headed over towards Hogwarts and beyond to head for the C point and see if I could help the team there.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
So as you can see, the STRV in the chat that had just taken out our guy at B was in between B and A, so I couldn't really do much about him. And kept going to help out our heavy at C, who apparently does have enemy contact there, because he is not capping. And thus, pretty clearly, is not alone. Now, what I'm trying to do here with the chat is to get him to tell us what's going on. Like, mark the dude on the map, or tell us what's happening. Or if you're not actually in the cap, then please get in the actual cap, because our tickets are still significantly lower than theirs. He has now begun to cap, and I pick up another F8F above me. Get a clip of his wing, get another critical on him that I can't tell exactly what it was. Let the teammates know who are in some sort of position to deal with the plane that there is anti-air. And our Jumbo has now dealt with the M56 that was apparently the issue at sea and is probably unrestrictedly capping. Now there's my 8th kill of the battle. It was the F8F that I critted. Apparently it was enough to drive him down or make the guy bail out. So there's kill number 8. We're looking pretty good on the caps right now. As we are taking A back, we've got a pair of friendly aircraft up, and I've got pretty decent SBA down here on the ground. And I'm just looking for really anything now. Keeping my eyes open for anything on the sky and trying not to get ambushed by anything on the ground as well. It's been a pretty good battle up to this point. I'm pretty pleased with it. Pretty confident of victory. Hoping that I can see anything. Starting to get a little concerned with 4 enemies left and nobody marking anything, that our airplanes are up in the air and not marking. And there is a light tank getting marked right next to B. And this is why I was hoping that the airplanes would be strafing the enemy to let us know things like that. And unfortunately, the Wyvern from the STRV dude dropped bombs on me and killed me out right before he crashed into the tents down at A. But, like I was saying, if I don't hear the Wyvern or see him coming from behind me, and if anyone else had seen him, it would have been nice if someone had said air, so that I would have started sweeping the skies, because I was focused on the light tank that was at B, just like Demented Mako there was focusing on B as well. So that's fine. Just as a gameplay tip, teamwork tip, if you see an enemy airplane, tell your team. It doesn't have to be, well, I already have someone in SPAA, they should be looking up at the sky. Tell them anyway. Maybe they're looking at a tank on the ground, maybe they're driving, maybe they're typing a message, maybe they're whatever. If you see an enemy airplane, just tell your team. Maybe they're not SPAA and they need to hide because they're in a light tank or something with no armor. At any rate, information sharing helps you win battles, so don't keep info to yourself. Now, Demented Mako has been along fighting around the B point the entire time. He's in the H-75 right now, but he was able to see the M41 and keep an eye on him and let us know that he was not, in fact, dead yet at the B point, until our friendly Kugelblitz did actually take him out. So that was good. So thank goodness I was able to drive the Lorraine 40T as a third vehicle here, third tank rather, and try to race back up to the front lines and actually get back into this battle, or getting killed out with my AMX-30 DCA there would have been excruciatingly painful for as far back as I have to come from the spawn every time. Now again, a communication tip here, gameplay tip here, in the chat. We lost an Object 906 to a different M41. The 906 should have seen the death cam and know at least roughly what direction the M41 was that killed him. But our Object 906 just left the battle and didn't say anything after he got killed. So another teamwork tip, which I've said before in multiple videos, tell your team, let your team know. If you have that sort of information, tell your team. Even if it's just, he shot me from behind, I was looking towards B, or whatever. You know, I was at B, he's near B even. But whatever. As it is, there he is. He's knocked out by the Jumbo, all the way down in the south. So I am continuing to roll my way up to the front lines as quickly as possible in my Lorraine 40T. Someone gets marked. It's out, way out on one of the roads in between their left side spawn and the A point, so that's where I'm going to focus my search. And that is good. As you see, Stribjorn there, Stribjorn, actually clicked and said somewhere near there, got shot from that direction. If that's the best info you have, that's fine. It lets us know there's somebody out that way. And hopefully no one just drives blindly out in front of that and gets shot. So good work on him. Good communication.
I agree.
And that is where I am focusing right now. Now I can see that there are probably guys at their spawn, but I'm looking for the guy who's actually the threat out in the field of battle. And then I see someone getting strafed by Demented Mako. Probably Mako, but I'm going to say Mako like the actor. And there he is. I see the top of his turret. Actually managed to get a pretty decent hit into the back of his turret bustle, but unfortunately all I got was his commander and no mobility knockout, and he's able to get behind some houses and trees and get to cover. We finally reversed the ticket situation. We're looking much better, and I'm trying now to just find this guy before the tickets bleed out and see if I can wrap up kill number 9, which if you speak French, you already know by the title of the video whether or not I was able to achieve that. By the way, the title is a play on words. I should have mentioned that much earlier in the video. In French, Neuf is 9, and it's also a play of that's enough in English. So, he takes a shot at me and misses. I line back up on him. Get a ricochet shot off the front of him. It's a Carnarvon, as it turns out. Line back up on him, and as he backs up, I just happen to get a lower front plate hit and kill him. for the 9th battle, and that's enough, and that's a 9. So 6 tanks killed and 3 airplanes killed for a total of 9 for the battle, to go along with an assist and a capture, and that totals up to be a pretty darn decent score for a battle. And as you can see, that got me some decent research towards my AMX-30B2, quite a bit for my engine, and knocked out a couple more modifications for a couple guys, my engine for my Cerbese. Ended up in a first place, 9 kills and 4 deaths. I could take it. I can live with that. 8 awards. There's the kill feed. You can see it's mostly orange over on the left instead of red, and that's always good. And that'll do for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I've got more fresher content from 1.77 coming soon. And as usual, I hope you all have a great day. See you next time.